Right now at 10, calling it quits. After 70 days on the campaign trail, Governor Scott Walker has dropped out of the Republican presidential race.
Today, I believe that I'm being called to lead by helping to clear the field in this race so that a positive, conservative message can rise to the top of the field. With this in mind, I will suspend my campaign immediately.
That's how the governor framed it, but this announcement does follow a major drop in his poll numbers and a weak performance in last week's debate.
And our Charles Benson begins our team coverage tonight from Madison. Charles?
Governor Walker's presidential dreams for now ending here with a short, subdued speech. Sources telling me it all came down to money. There just wasn't enough. Others were hoping he'd make one last stand in Iowa. But today, Walker decided it's over.
This is a difficult decision.
It was a fast fall from frontrunner status to failing to regain momentum. The wheels started coming off Walker's presidential hopes shortly after he announced in July. There were a few political gaffes on big issues, 2 lackluster debate performances, and falling poll numbers. During the campaign, Walker refused to criticize his GOP opponents. But today, after dropping out, he had a message for Donald Trump, even though he didn't mention him by name, and the other Republican candidates struggling in the polls.
I encourage other Republican presidential candidates to consider doing the same so that the voters can focus on a limited number of candidates who can offer a positive, conservative alternative to the current frontrunner.
Former Governor Tommy Thompson was among the first to encourage Walker to run. He thought Walker would have stayed in until the Iowa caucuses and not drop out. Were you surprised?
I was very surprised.
Thompson also dropped out of the presidential race after his short-lived campaign in 2008.
Once your polls start going down, the money dries up.
So what's next for Scott Walker? How will he embrace the job he was elected to do with not very good job approval numbers right now? Thompson's advice?
Well, I'll tell him to go out and visit the 72 counties in Wisconsin and get refreshed and reintegrated and reinvigorated by the people of this great state.
So now there are a couple big questions going forward. What role will Governor Walker play in the presidential campaign? Wisconsin will be a battleground state in the primary and in the election. The other big known, will he ever run for office again? He still has 3 years left on this job. We're live in Madison. Charles Benson, today's TMJ4.
As you said, still a lot of questions. Thank you, Charles.